Well, good morning from Needles, California. Let me show you. It is the sunrise, and it's 6:42, but I think I'm very close to the time change into 7:42. Anyway, this is the Tesla supercharger location in Needles, or one of them. And it's attached or next to a club. Kind of interesting. Anyways, 250 kilowatts. And I think, let me see here. We're going to head to Albuquerque today. And I want to visit something there. I think I've mentioned to you a few times. So I just have several minutes here to charge, and I will be ready to take off. And again, you could see the route that I'll be on. It seems to have a whole lot of desert in it. It's 77 degrees. Last night, I mean, I don't think it got much colder than that. I think that's what it was. So here we go on our way to Albuquerque, stopping in Kingman, Flagstaff, and finally getting into New Mexico at Gallup. All right, here we go. I'm supposed to arrive with 28%. And you could see here, let me get rid of this if I can. We're going to ride around a mountain range here and go in between two mountains and come up to Kingman. So I'm assuming what goes up is going to come down. Well, here we go. I'm going to get the sun in your eyes at sunrise here. And we are off and running, and my windows are filthy. My apologies. We're on Interstate 40, heading, as you can see, Kingman is 62 miles away. And we are back in the desert. So, back in the Mojave Desert, as you can see here. And someplace over here, we're going to go in between a couple of mountains and go directly to Kingman. So, looking forward to an easy drive today, I think, to Albuquerque. So, you can see we are just getting, I think we're getting ready to leave California and head into Arizona. Yes, that is the Mojave Desert, and we will be crossing these mountains shortly. Hello, Colorado River. So we are now crossing the Colorado. And the speed limit going up to 75 tells me we must be in Arizona. And here comes the sign through my extremely dirty window. There you go. I've already been here once, kind of, sort of. Well, let me move it over here. My continued frustrations. Again, the red steering wheel in a construction area that had temporary barrier walls. So I now have no FSD again. I'm trying to get through this trip so I can contact Tesla, and I think they tell me I only have 2 more left before I lose FSD, which really isn't right. But so let's see what happens. Well, still in Arizona. Of course, I'm going to be in Arizona for a while. And you can see over there what it looks like a bit. And just to let me share with you, I have shut off FSD. Currently, I'm simply using cruise control. I am really frustrated. If you have a Tesla and have FSD, Can you let me know if the red steering wheel takeover immediately happens to you a lot? And it's only in the mountainous areas. I've not had this happen anywhere else. I've never had it happen on a trip to Florida. So if you think I'm frustrated, I am. I am currently 14 miles from the Kingman Supercharger, and when we get there, we'll stop and talk. Hello, Route 66. All right, we are coming into Kingman, so I will meet you at the Supercharger.
In 1 mile, take exit 48 on the right onto Gale Street toward Arizona 68.
All right, we're at Kingman, Arizona, 26%. That was a very simple leg, other than losing FSD. I may keep it shut off for a while here. Let me see. Let me go down here to trips. I know there's a bit of a glare. By the way, I cleaned the windows. There's a bit of a glare, so let me try. Since our last charge, we went 63 miles, and it was 342 watt hours per mile, which I think is the highest that we've had. Don't know if it was because of morning or what the reason was. We did cross the 4,000 mile plateau on this trip, so we're at 4066, and since we got to Yosemite and began returning home, we've put on 636 miles. Let's see, our next stop will be Flagstaff, which is 147 miles away. Okay, I should show you, I did shut off full self-driving, and I'm going to put it on auto steer, which is in beta, and I'll learn more about it. Let me let you read this. Autopilot has recorded 2 strikeouts due to improper use. Auto steer, beta and full service driving supervised will no longer operate after 5 autopilot strikeouts. Isn't that interesting? Well, I just had to raise my charge limit to 100 because I think that's where this is headed. Look at this note. Try full self-driving supervised. Tap to enable. Tap to enable. Let's see where I am here. This says that I have projected 2% arriving in Flagstaff. 147 miles, 2 hours, 23 minutes, blah, blah, blah. 15 minutes left. Well, I think this is going to be a little bit precarious. So the new stop is Wickenburg, Arizona. And this says I still have 5 minutes to continue trip, and I'm at 90%. I'm actually not getting much of a charge now. And I don't know enough about the area to know what's between here and there. So we'll have to see what happens, but I will definitely go slow. All right, as we leave Kingman, Arizona, heading to our next stop in Wickensburg, Arizona. Here we go. It says we'll end with 22%. I am now on route, I think it's 93, heading to Wickensburg. So I am no longer on an interstate. This is a 4-lane divided highway, so not awful bad. I do have range anxiety, so we'll see what happens. I have 105 miles to go to the supercharger, and this says I have 185 miles left, so let's see what's correct. Well, I've been traveling slowly and carefully, and you could see that everything is green on the energy for the drive. Consumption wise, that says we have 353 miles left. I don't believe that's right. Anyway, our watt hours per mile are amazing, just amazing, at 102. So we continue to travel. The drive is pleasant here in Arizona, a state road, but as I said, it's well maintained. It's 4 lanes, and you can see out there. So going really well, I think. Going well. I have finally raised my speed and everything. Air conditioning is on, so everything is in use. Well, I'm getting close to my stop, which is about 6 miles away. We're entering a roundabout, and as you may remember from earlier drives, I have been very impressed with the Tesla handling the roundabout. So let's see what happens here. We're now into a divided highway. Well, it's not a roundabout, actually. So anyway, the divided highway is gone. I am now approaching, well, there's the town, Wickenburg, in Arizona. Speed limit is just dropped to 45, but I haven't. But I have. And anyway, I will see you at Wickenburg at the supercharger. We are at Wickenburg with 37% left, which is very good. I didn't use FSD, and the drive felt better just using the autopilot for cruise control and for holding lanes. So I find that interesting. My next stop is going to be Cordes Lakes, Arizona. And so let's charge. And well, let me look at the numbers so I can get up and walk. So we went 131 miles, 2 hours and 20 minutes. That was pretty long, by the way. Our total trip is now 4,197 miles, and our return trip, we're 767 miles into it. This charger is located at Town Hall here in Wickenburg. It's a nice little town. Frankly, there's not a whole lot to do here. I mean, I can get out and walk, but it is now 102 degrees. So that would be a little bit difficult to do. Well, it looks to me like there could be a bit of a issue here, if you can see that area. There's some red here and orange and red there, so not quite sure what that is, but I'm going to guess based on what I'm seeing it has something to do with mountains. Well, because this area looks very mountainous coming up, I've decided to charge higher here. So I'm currently charged at 76 with a state of charge at my destination at 43%. I know it sounds like a lot, but I am a bit worried. And I'm gonna head on and talk to you between here and I'm gonna keep pronouncing it Cordes Lakes. I'm just not sure if it's that or Cordes Lakes, but we'll do Cordes Lakes. See you on the road. Isn't it neat to see this warning? Telemetry is checking me right now. This is just as exciting as could be. I am not at all happy with any of that. Anyway, I arrived here with 37% in that Cordes Lakes, Arizona. It is 100 degrees. It got as high as 106 before I came up here heading towards Flagstaff. And if we look at our trips, how are we doing? That was only 76 miles, though it took an hour and a half. We did good on the energy at 239. And let's see, our total trip is now up to 4274. And we're still at 238, so doing well there. And our return trip home is at 844 miles. So our next stop is Holbrook, Arizona, which is a pretty good distance, 169, pretty good distance for this car. Well, I am approaching the Flagstaff supercharger, and this ride has been fine so far. Looks like we're going to arrive with close to 40%. Again, not using FSD, using auto steer, I think it's called, auto steer beta, and I even have my sunglasses on. One note, we have a terrain change. Let me fix this for you here. So we have green trees around. Last elevation I saw was 5,000 feet, so we've come up a bit. Temperatures come down a bit to 85. So all in all, this is a fairly good leg. I almost have planned my, hello again, my stop for this evening. I think I know where it's going to be, and at Flagstaff I'll go ahead and make that decision. Unfortunately, I'm not going to make it to Albuquerque, which was my goal for this evening. I'm going to fall about an hour short of Albuquerque, and I'll have to figure a way to make that up tomorrow. I am in Flagstaff. I have 35% left. I did not use FSD. I'm starting to like not using FSD and just using the auto steer. Anyway, next stop is going to be Gallup, New Mexico. And let's take a peek at our trip. So that leg was 80 miles, an hour, just over an hour and 10 minutes. Average energy 298 was okay. It was really, really hilly. Total distance on our trip, we're now at 4353, and the distance on our return is now approaching 1,000. So all that's good. Next stop, Gallup, and you could see almost all of this was above. It ran rather high. Yeah. So you can kind of get a good look there. And generally, we have been driving really well, to be quite honest with you. So I think I'm going to do the next one without FSD also. Well, here's the situation. I was charging here, and it was going to take me to Gallup, New Mexico, which I can't make. My car is not going to make 200 miles on these roads. So anyway, I did find, by continuing to put in addresses, Holbrook, Arizona, which I can now leave and make. It says I'll arrive with 44%. So that is what I'm going to do. I am going to travel to Holbrook, and this is what the trip looks like. I don't see anything terribly out of the ordinary for this trip. So we are going to leave Flagstaff because I did not want to spend another half hour here. It's a 150 kilowatt charger, and most of you know that means you're sharing a charger if there's anyone next to you, and all 10 of the chargers are in use. We are in Winslow, Arizona, out there. And yes, I've already stood on a corner in Winslow, Arizona, so I don't need to stop there, like everybody else my age probably. We are now, let's see, we're at 33 miles from our exit. Temperature's back up to 91. Still nothing like the 105, 106 we were seeing. There's Winslow, by the way. And right now, everything is going well. I'm supposed to arrive with 37%. I've been doing the speed limit. So just, this is I hate to say it because something will go wrong, but one of the smoothest legs yet. The elevation we just passed is currently at 5,000 feet. So we're still up pretty high and it's warm. We are in Holbrook. We just auto parked. So let's see how we're doing here. That trip was 94 miles, an hour and 20 minutes. Sounds right, doesn't it? 212 watt hours was awesome. This was a great leg, everybody. I am out now at 4,400 miles for my trip and have crossed the 1,000 mark for my return home. So let's go ahead and I thought I was going to go to Gallup. We'll have to see what happens here. And hello again. As you can see, it's now getting dark. We are 27 miles from Gallup, New Mexico, and I think we're close to the New Mexico border, within a few miles. So I'll keep the camera in hand, as this is state number 12 during this trip. By the way, I have just passed a 6,000 foot elevation sign, and again, I'm trying to keep you on here until we get to New Mexico, but I'll keep it handy. And we'll see what goes on. Right now, there is a terrain change in front of us, kind of mountainous. I'll show you. So that's a little bit different from the flatlands we've just been on. Here's a look at what I mentioned about different terrain. So this is all different than what we've been seeing. And it's certainly getting dark enough where you're not going to be able to see it. If it was brighter out, you'd see that a lot of this is red rock. I think, yep, here it is. Welcome to New Mexico. This is state number 12 of our trip. I think, yep, here it is. Welcome to New Mexico. This is state number 12 of our trip. Gallup, New Mexico. We've arrived with 30%. Again, no FSD, and the ride went fine. I have no problems. I'm going to fall an hour short of Albuquerque, so I'm going to leave here and go about an hour more. But of course, not until we see this. So that one was 90 miles, hour and 18 minutes, 283 watt hours per mile, and 4,538 total miles, and 1,108 on the return trip. So I'm going to stop for the night in Grants, New Mexico. And I don't know if you could see that, but there's a crescent moon. See you in an hour.